those out as well. There's a whole article on my website about promoting your club. You can take these same strategies and probably apply them to Speechcraft, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Post flyers, post online, whatever you do, just to get the attention there.
And what is your website?
My website is www.slash.net. You can see it in the sidebar.
Cool.
All right. Now, after I come out of a Speechcraft, let's say I'm a fairly new speaker, what can I expect to learn? What am I going to have that I didn't have before? And maybe we talked about this a little bit. Am I going to feel just ready to deliver the State of the Union address on national TV, or am I just, or what?
Well, what your experience is going to be, of course, it's going to depend on that menu of what's offered.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a basic menu, because you're especially attracting people in the public that have not ever been in any sort of speech courses, it would be, so that would be icebreaker for sure,
Okay.
and then some basic skills. So hopefully whetting your appetite to want more, and especially seeing how easy it is and the camaraderie. And a really important part of Speechcraft is on those last sessions, want to be sure and invite the attendees and have ready their information. And there is a carrot for them.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
The carrot is that any of the talks they do during the Speechcraft work toward their competent communicator, which is the first manual project of 10 projects. Mm-hmm. So they'd already be almost halfway to the first really educational award.
And they've got it in 4 weeks, whereas some people I've seen, it takes them months just to get to speech too. Plus they have guaranteed speaking time, which in some clubs that are very well populated, they're very strong, they sometimes can't get everybody in their program.
I've got to add there's another benefit here. In addition to the benefit for the attendees, the person's giving. This is an opportunity to, because especially if your club's really strong,
mm-hmm.
There may be some competition to get on that agenda each week if you've only got 3 or 4 slots. So this is another way that members can speak,
right.
and it goes toward their educational benefit.
Awesome. And of course they get all of the public speaking skills and the benefits that come with that. Just being able to talk to people is an amazing skill.
Similar to contest, with Speechcraft, you're going to be doing something different. You're bound to learn some different skills.
Right. And we do have some speech marathons from time to time, and this is a little more structured, and you get to see what other people are doing with, say, you can compare your icebreaker to theirs, and so on. I think that's a little more useful for the beginning speaker. Speech marathons are great as well if you just want to get through your manual faster. So they're two different animals, but if we're looking for beginners, Speechcraft is great. Now what about...
I'm going to speak to something you just said.
Okay.
On the marathons, those are really not kosher because there's the thought, I think up to 2 speeches a day at an event can be presented, and it's more I mean, certainly you can have Toastmaster meetings outside of your regular meeting, and you can feature speeches and the opportunity for people to speak. The Speechcraft does offer that opportunity, and it offers all the trappings of a more professional presentation because you are dealing with people outside your club.
Right. And of course, again, with you, when you're speaking outside, on any one day, I think you can only get 2 speech credits. That's the rule. But speech marathons, as long as you don't break that rule, they're okay as far as I know. I've hosted 1 or 2. Okay.
Well, I'm all for recommending getting through that manual as soon as possible.
Right.
And I think gathering and having these extra meetings is a great way.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you can't always get to speak at your club, or maybe you're just you're really nervous, you're not ready to speak before the entire club, you just want to be in front of fewer people. And that helps you out. We also know that we can charge for a Speechcraft and make it a fundraising activity as long as it goes to our club treasury. Mm-hmm. Anything else that we should know about Speechcraft? Is there something that's just going to make it dynamite, over the top, I mean, blow everybody out of the water?
Certainly something I wouldn't want to leave out, and that's the experience that another person has had with the Speechcraft. Chris Loomis.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is what?
Area Governor, L43.
Okay, and Chris shared with us today that he was actually part of a Speechcraft that really turned the club around, that went from a weathering club to a club that expanded to 18 excited members, in addition to the membership base that they already had. And it was in Kingwood.
Okay.
So we can look to, I'd suggest asking around for other people who've heard or been to the Speechcraft. And Jeff, you and I can certainly point them to some people.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question. How many people would you say, experienced people that can put this on, do I need to do this? Is it just one person that runs everything and brings in people, or do I need multiple people?
You need multiple, 5 to 10 if it's inside your club.
Well, I mean, just to run it. I mean, not to be attendees versus the person who's running.
Oh, you're asking how many attendees do we need?
Oh, no. I'm saying, how many instructors would I need, or support people like that?
5 to 10. 5 to, according, right, it says right here.
Is that?
A number of participants. I'm taking this from the Speechcraft homepage on TI. It says at toastmaster.org. It actually says if Speechcraft is presented within the club, 5 to 10 participants are needed.
Okay, those are participants, but I'm looking for just instructors.
Right. Yes. Well, I read that wrong.
Okay.
Well, we're not given a specific number.
Okay.
But it would be at least half as many as it takes to run a regular meeting. And to run a regular meeting, it's around 18, 20 people.
Right.
So we would need at least 10.
You say 10? Okay.
And that would be at very, very minimum 5. And the really important thing is that there's enough tasks to do, especially when you're giving it consecutive weeks, to have different people commit to different segments.
Okay.
So you wouldn't necessarily have to have anybody be committed and strapped for 4 weeks for this. You want to break it up. That's where your Speechcraft chairperson comes in for your club.
Okay. So maybe if we have a struggling club, only 10 members, but they can commit 5 to this program, they can pull this off, they can raise their membership.
They can, and it wouldn't hurt them to reach out and talk to the club that's nearby them and do it together.
Okay. So we could probably have the structure of, say, a Toastmaster, maybe an educational moment person, and then those 5 people work with groups of people that come in to develop their speeches or whatever you want to do.
Because they would, and then we'd have somebody doing, for example, in the first talk, there'd be that. And then there's also when they're doing, say, the first session, if you're going for the basic program, where it's an icebreaker,
an evaluation.
Somebody needs to give an example and actually give an icebreaker.
Oh, okay.
Or repeat their icebreaker. And then you need enough staff, so to speak, to work with the participants to help them actually write their icebreaker while they're there to present for the next session they'd be presenting.
Okay. Excellent. Did you have anything else to add to this?
Let me look at my little note here just to see if we've forgotten anything.
Okay.
Finally, before the last session...
Oh, here's a question I have.
Yes.
What about advanced clubs? Can they hold one that's on more focused skills that may not be along the CC manual, or do they have to focus on icebreaker and all the first few projects?
The material that's presented is up to the group that's putting on the Speechcraft, so the seminar series could vary. And that question just came up this last week. I'm part of Dress for Success, Downtown's advanced club here in Houston.
Okay.
We were just kicking around the idea of doing one, and because we do have, as an advanced club, a requirement to join, one has to have their CC, their competent communicator. And we really, really need new members. So our thoughts were to use the brainchild of the Speechcraft and offer a series. We're going to do 4 series in March and April of advanced topics that would be directed to the public so they can understand it, as well as to members to solicit them to become part of our advanced club.
Okay.
So we're thinking of things like maybe how to use visual aids, social networking, how to use the web, and some of those things.
So you can
which we'd love for you
customize
to
it, definitely.
come and present.
Okay. So you definitely can customize it. Very
Yes.
cool. But for most clubs that are just they want to attract new members, probably the CC manual kind of outlay is the best.